Now, I want to piggyback off the major and the independent. Do you think it's necessary for artists to even try to get a major deal at this point? Because we know what the majors are looking for, and I said they looking for numbers. They want you to already kind of do the work already,
and they just come in and put a couple on it and make the money off of it, split it with you.
So
give you a piece of what you own,
right?
Actually.
So that's it. I know the answer to it. I just wanted to know what you thought, like because basically this is what I tell people: when you sign with a label, they're gonna want you to do all the work, and they're gonna get money from you, and then they got some resources that you don't have, but at the same time, it's just a slower grind. You eventually get to it, and then when you get signed to a major, you want it to be a partnership. You don't want them to break you off no money that you already making. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, because I tell people all the time, like, it depends on your situation or what you looking for. That's why I ask artists, like, what you really want. Because an artist, it's like getting a deal is like going to the NBA, like or going to the NFL, or
right.
You know what I'm saying, like in the hood, like when you grew up in the hood and you ain't never had nothing, or like your dream is to be a basketball player or football player in the NFL, go pro, be a pro athlete. So like when you sign a record deal, that's like being pro. So to like everybody, that's like the standard of being, like you made it to people.
Right.
So it's like I ask artists all the time, like, what you want, like. You want a deal you feel like that solidifies you or stamps you,
right? And
what you got going on, or you want to make the money and not be as famous, or you know what I'm saying, not have the clout that another person got, but you know what's going on and you stamped and you got, you know what I'm saying, you can be able to provide for all your people.
That's right.
It depends on the deal, what you got going on, because people don't know. Like people just think a deal is like the end all to be all, and it's the language of these deals.
It's not.
It's like it's a catch-22. Like, people don't know when you sign a deal, the money you sign for is automatically taxed before you even cash the check. You know what I'm saying? So people just be like, I want a deal, I want to do this, I want to do that, but they don't know, like, that money got to get recouped, and it's taxed before you get it. So, like, if you ain't pushing out the numbers and doing what they project you to think they can do, and you take all these people money, then you're going to be sitting and not making no money and got to live off of what you signed for. And you know what I'm saying, when you got, like right now, the pandemic, right? So pandemic is like kind of one of the toughest things to live in with music right now, because it's hard, because you can't do no shows for real. And the shows you are getting is not really the shows that you would get before the pandemic. Right. And they say far in between. And like people was living off shows. Like a lot of rappers were living off shows. You know what I'm saying? So people was living above their means. Someone was, some was dependent on dates that had booked up that's canceled. So now they spent the money that they had coming up, or they living off that. They signed these deals, and now they done spent their advances, looked out for these people, bought themselves some jewelry. Right.
First thing go.
A car. A house, and bought their girls something, their mama something maybe, or whoever they mess with, they homeboys or stuff like that. And now they lock themselves in to where they ain't got no money coming in. They got a recording budget, and you know what I'm saying, they got to recoup all this, and they got to put the record out. And a lot of people don't know, like, the label, in a lot of instances, like, they get to start telling you when you can drop. You go make a song, and then the song is not what they expect. So now they go make some more songs. So now you banking on dropping this album or tape to another advance, and
they don't want it.
They don't want it. So now you stressing, struggling, wondering what they looking for, and you get to making all type of music and lose sight of yourself, or lose your sound, or whatever you're trying to do. Right. And now you can't deliver. And then they steady telling you, like, we want you to make something like this. We want this. We want another one of these. And now you just in the studio stuck, because now you can't produce.
And that's money being spent because you're still in the studio.
So now that's another bill that they racking up on, that you're still.
And then when they say they give you an advance of $1 million or whatever, that's not. You sign a $2 million deal. That you don't get the $2 million. No. You got to work for that. You got to work up to that.
It's like being in the NFL, right? So like when you go to the NFL, it's like they be like, if you get so many sacks, you get a bonus. Right. You get you read this, or if you get so many touchdowns, you get a bonus. You win so many games, or you know what I'm saying, you get 5,000 yards, you get this, you get that. incentives. I'm gonna say like that's their incentives.
Right.
So you don't get 50 touchdowns, you don't meet your incentive.
Right.
You don't get 7 sacks, you don't get 20 sacks, you get 14 sacks, you miss your incentive. So in music, it's the same way. If you don't turn this album in and it don't come out, you don't reach your incentive, so you don't get the money. And you say you sign for $2 million, you might get $1.2 million.
Right.
The other ones you gotta earn, you gotta meet your quotas for what they feel like they set for you to get this money. If you don't get it.
And they still want they cut.
And they still want they cut off of what you do produce.
Exactly.
So you be in the hole. So a lot of people be in the red, and then some people don't have the money. They take other advances out on different things, and they put themselves deeper in the hole. And then if you finally do get a release, and it don't meet what they expectations and the money they put in for marketing and all that other stuff, you really in the hole again, because now they want that money too.
And then you mad because you didn't told everybody you signed, and you looking like a fool, looking broke. Man, you better watch the movies though, like the TLC and be on the internet looking at other things besides challenges. Like, look up these people deals, man, because they out here telling you that it's not that you being screwed. I wouldn't say you being screwed. I'm just saying you not fully listening to what they're telling you.
And they take advantage of the situation that you're in.
Well, maybe you are being fooled then.
I mean, it ain't really, because you can be. It's really reading. Like, if they know, see, that's the thing about it. You got to know your worth. So if you know. If these people know you from the hood and they know
that you ain't never had $20,000 and they ain't got no other way of getting it,
so they're gonna press you for that, and they're gonna put the language in the contract to where they win double,
right?
Because they know if you ain't got nothing to offer, if you ain't got nothing of your own, you can't go in there with your own money. Not saying that you need them. If they know that you need them, they're gonna play you like you need them.
Well, yeah, because all you're gonna hear is the 20,000 or the 100,000. You know what I'm saying? You ain't never had that. So I think Dre them said that. I was looking at something like that. Dre said that. He's like, yeah, when it was the NWA, when they was when Q didn't want to sign,
right?
I think they got like 75,000.
75,000.
Yeah, and they said they ain't never had nothing like that. So they was just ready to go. You know what I'm saying?
Cube and his parents was like, no.
Yeah, so.
Because he was a kid,
yeah,
out the group. He was the youngest guy in the group,
and he didn't want to do it.
Yeah, he didn't want to do it, and he went to college, so he knew a little something. He didn't want to do it, but you don't know. That's what I'm saying. If you don't know, you would take that. Like, I had instances like that when people, like some of my people, like producers or rappers, like it have been situations where it looked good to them, or they wanted the money, they just took it because they wanted the money. Now I tell them, like, well, this ain't really that good. Like, we ain't doing this.
Right.
And then at some point, they become frustrated because they like this. That's why it's so like.
They think you holding them up.
Yeah, like the music is so fickle because they want you there for their best interest, but then when they see something that they think that's gonna change their life, they feel like you not the best interest no more.
Right.
Or you not doing what's best for them. You doing. I don't know why they like it just plays on their mental like that, because they looking at it like it's like somebody dangling a carrot in front of your face.
I mean, but yeah, it's back to what we said. If they ain't never had it and it's right there, it's right there. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just right there, and you telling me no, you tripping.
Yeah, it's like, what you mean no? Like, are you about to give me $120,000?
Right.
Like, you be like, well, we didn't get into this for that.
Right.
And they be like, well, I need the money. Like, I need the money. Like, that's it become a battle on the struggle. Like, well, if you need this money, what you gonna need in 2 years? What you gonna need next year if you need this?
That ain't gonna last you.
Because $120, this ain't even being funny, but $120,000,
it's no money.
It's no money, especially when you bank on living. Like, when you have bank on living, you got kids and you got a lifestyle, or you about to try to build your lifestyle.
Because you got to get your jewelry.
Yeah, that's expectations. Like,
you got to get your ride.
The first thing people do is run the social media. So if somebody tell you signed some XYZ records, excuse me, major label, and then the first thing you gonna do is go get you a car, a house, and some jewelry, or some new clothes. You know what I'm saying? You're going to try to look the part.
Right.
They not knowing that you're going to be signed for $200,000, and
half of that's gone.
Half of that's gone because that's your recording budget. Some people don't know that. So you might be like $100,000 in recording budget and marketing. So you got $100,000 to the good. What you going to do with $100,000? So a year from now, what you gonna do? Not even a year from now, 5 months, 4 months from now, what you gonna do after you?
And them people gonna want their money.
They want their money. It's taxed already.
Yeah.
Like and people don't.
And you gotta pay it.
You gotta pay it. Like, ain't no ifs and buts about it. So you run around, you think that, like, I just think people people are easily influenced, and it's just sad that people don't understand. Like, it ain't really about the money when you trying to make the money.
Right.
You got to get in a position. It's the positioning.
Right.
You want to put yourself in position. Once you put yourself in position, the money gonna come. When you go out and try to find you a position, you're gonna get played on like that.
When I speak to artists and they come to me, they say, so how much is this going? What did you think the budget? This is where I'm going with the budget. They always say, how much would it take for me to be big? I say, I don't know, man. Ain't no such thing as a budget, really. It all, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no such thing as no budget. It's just what you willing to do, what you willing to spend, and how far you trying to go. Why don't you speak on that for me?
As far as a budget,
Yeah. Like there is no budget. That's what I'm saying. There is.
Nah. They don't want to see a budget.
Right.
I'm gonna say that, especially if you getting it from like you. It's like right now, if you had an artist and you had a budget, say I'm gonna give you a budget of 50,000 or 100,000. They tell you tell the artist that, and then the budget is your recording and your expense. So they might use 50,000 of it to go buy clothes and look good and go get weed and all that other stuff they get, and the other 50,000 you spent on recording and marketing, right?
Right.
And then they be like, well, I want to do this. You be like, well, you only got $2,000 left in this budget. What you mean? How I only got $2,000 left in the budget? How? I ain't did nothing. You did everything.
You did everything you wanted to do.
You did everything you wanted to do. When I told you, like, let's do this way, but you wanted a budget to do this way, so this is your budget. Now you only got $2,000 left to the good for this budget. So
right.
Now what you're trying to do, we can't do. Why we can't just do this? Because then I'm going in my pocket furthermore and going amongst my means, and then when the money do come back in, you're gonna want your money at the top. And that's what people don't get. When you invest in people and you put projects and things into artists and stuff like that, they think they supposed to get, y'all supposed to split the money when it come back.
Right.
And you really don't go that way.
Because you got to get yours first.
You gotta wrap that up. I mean, you gotta get. You gotta recoup your money first before they can get theirs. But if you real, you just like, I'll split it with you. But it don't supposed to go like that.
Right. Hey, man, look, man, I appreciate your time. I know you're busy, man. I had to get you because I think you just flew in. I think the jet's still running, ready to take you somewhere. Any artists want to get at you, man? What's the Instagram?
Certified_NIQUE2, pretty much. And you can go to Band Life too and bother him.
Yeah. There it is, man. Big Dawg Blast, Turbulence, man. And we'll catch y'all again when we do this again. All right.